Dune Part 2 is literally the definition of cinema. I will forever be grateful to be one of the first people to watch Dune Part 2. In the Abu Dhabi premiere, Denis Villeneuve and Josh Brolin and Dave Bautista all attended the premiere. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Denis and Josh. However, I got to meet Dave Bautista, and that is good enough for me. It was simply incredible meeting him, especially a WWE turned actor like him, who has been in many movies like Blade Runner 2049 and the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. It was such a special time meeting him. And the premiere overall went smoothly. I genuinely loved it all and I thought it was a massive success. But now put aside my praise for the event, here is my non-spoiler review for Dune Part 2. After watching this movie, I definitely will be reading all of the books. This is primarily a review from someone who hasn't read any of the books, but definitely understands the movies. Dune Part 2 is not only the greatest sci-fi movie of all time, but honestly it's one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. I know it may seem like I'm over-exaggerating a bit, but after pondering with my thoughts enough for this movie, especially with my thoughts on the first movie, I was done and convinced that this movie is incredible and such a masterpiece. And yes, I know masterpiece is such a basic word, but I genuinely mean it. After seeing Timothée Chalamet's performance in Dune Part 1 and 2, completely changed my perspective on him as an actor, and I surely took him more seriously. Most of the cast had such overwhelming performances all throughout, and if you've seen this guy in the trailer who's Austin Butler's character, yes, he does look very unrecognizable, but that is Austin Butler. I immediately fell in love with his character. He's like this sadistic, badass character, and everything that has to do with his character, including the conclusion, is simply epic as hell. And he is so calmly badass. And the character arcs and the epic battles all work through so perfectly. Now if I'm thinking of true epicness in the modern era, I am always thinking of Dune. The explosions and the action-packed sequences. If any of you found Dune Part 1 boring, you will honestly love Part 2 so much more. It is way more action-packed, with an insane conclusion that will leave you wanting Dune 3 immediately. It's like Dune Part 1 is here and Dune Part 2 is all the way here. In terms of practically everything. The cinematography and the color grading and the performances and the tones and the storytelling and the writing. All of that mixed together, watching it in IMAX was truly a masterful experience. I will always be thankful for Denis Villeneuve because that man is a mastermind. He knows how to make movies with writing like this, so much interesting in live action form, and I don't think I can see any other director complete this movie. This movie just has the Denis Villeneuve touch that no other director can make. To call the movie good overall is an ultimate understatement. I will be forever grateful for all of the opportunities I get, and in general I am so damn grateful that I'm alive to see this movie. If you love sci-fi films, this is that movie for you to watch. This is a must watch in IMAX. Do not watch it in the standard screenings or the other kind of screenings. Watching it in IMAX was an undescribable, unmatchable experience. Sitting nearly in the middle with the sound design absolutely booming in my ears, it was just insane. No other cinema and movie can match that type of level. And man, after such a long time, it is so refreshing to watch such a masterpiece in the cinemas. After bad movie and mid movie and trash movies, Dune Part 2 completely wipes out every single movie of recent times. Overall, Dune Part 2 is a must watch in IMAX. It is so immersive and the family drama that happens in the film just feels so right. And it feels a little bit of a soap opera in the right ways. And it is so goddamn action packed. And the world building continues to expand itself with its excellent cast. I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating or I'm being fake. My final rating for Dune Part 2 is a 10 out of 10. It is releasing around March 1st in other countries like the USA and UK, and in the UAE it will be releasing on February 29th, and in other Middle East countries it will be releasing on April 11th. So regardless of when it comes out for your country, you have to watch this movie. Make sure to subscribe for more reviews like this, and hit that like button if you enjoyed.